Hello there everybody, a very good afternoon and welcome back to another Taurex live trading stream this afternoon. I hope everyone has had a good day so far and a good week in the markets as we dive into some more market opportunities here at Taurex. My name is Connor Woods and I'm the senior market analyst here at the company, relatively new. So yeah, we're going to be building our live stream service on a day-by-day basis. So it's really great to see all of those who are joining in with us, and we have plenty more to come in the future, which is very, very exciting indeed. If you are around, we are currently live on YouTube, and we also are running a Zoom meeting as well. So hopefully, whoever's involved in any of that, feel free to pop up and say hello. So yeah, I'm running the tech through both at the moment. So hopefully the Wi-Fi can hold out. But if you're experiencing a little bit of delay, just let me know and I'll manage to I'll correct it for you, should we say? Right. So let's just go on to now our slides for the day and our actual agenda. Quick look at the YouTube channel. Jeanette, hello to you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And hello to you, Bobby. Can you guys can hear and see me okay? Yeah. It's just that I'm running it through a couple of different softwares at the moment, so it might just be a little bit of a delay coming through. But can you hear me all right, or is the connection a bit dodgy? A little delay. Okay. I'll try and sort that out for next time. It's early days, isn't it? So okay. What about now? You can hear me all right, yeah? I sound good. Thank you. Just I'm trying to work out it's the tech side when you're trying to run it through both things. It can be a little bit iffy, but we'll learn on the go. So hopefully we can manage to sort that out. Good to see you all anyway, and thank you for joining in. So we're on the 3rd of December now, and for those of you who joined in yesterday, you will notice that I had a stream which basically was introducing myself to all of you guys, and you can actually watch that on catch up on our YouTube channel. No problem at all. Oh, okay. Is there? That's annoying. It was fine yesterday, but may just need to close down the Zoom meeting. Apologies about that. Always the way with these tech issues, but we'll get there. I may have just fixed it a little bit. We'll keep it on YouTube for now. Let me know if that's better. Hello to Crypto Gambles as well. It's good to see you, and thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully, I'm hoping that's a little bit better. Right. Anyway, in terms of the agenda for today, let's just quickly run through what that agenda is going to be. So we're going to be having a look at the US dollar in view. We've got ADP employment change just around the corner. We have lots of Fed speak as well. We're also going to talk a little bit about our demo trading competition and also our new exciting prop as well, which hopefully you guys can get involved in. And we're also going to have a look at quants. I don't know if anyone's had a look at that recently, but quant has been going absolutely crazy at the moment. So we're going to be taking a little bit of a dive into that, and hopefully we can get a good idea of some of the best market moves that we had. So let me just know in the chat if you can hear me still okay. I'm just getting this terrible signal coming through. Okay. Nice. Thank you very much. Thanks, Jeanette. So, first of all, looking at the US dollar in view of ADB employment coming up very, very soon, let's just head over to economic calendar and just have a quick look at what it is we're looking at. So, we've obviously got NFP week this week. ADP non-farm employment changes out today. However, it's not going to be something that we use to predict NFP. I say this quite a lot every time this comes out. So make sure that we don't use ADP to determine what's going to happen with NFP on Friday, because they're very, very separate reports. And I think a lot of people make this mistake. So it's something I wanted to make sure I let you know straight away. The predicted figure for today is expected to be 159,000. 233,000 was the previous. So we're expecting that slight softening in the labour market. Maybe that's going to cause some market volatility today, potentially on the US dollar. So hopefully we can manage to take advantage of some of those opportunities. We've also got the lots of Fed speak today, particularly Powell, but we've also had one Fed speak from Waller as well, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Let's just quickly look at that if I'm loading up. My computer's being so slow. Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller, whose views are often in line, said that basically, in short term, should we say, that we should be cutting in December. Now, we've got that one last Fed decision coming out in December. And if I look at the CME Fed Watch tool, you can actually see that previously this was more of a 50-50 shout. And now we're seeing a 72.5% chance of a 25 basis point rate cut and a 27.5% chance that rates are held exactly where they are. So overall, I would say that we've shifted more towards a cut, and therefore what we've seen in the dollar as a result of that over the last sort of couple of weeks, as we've gone from what was more of a 50-50, now favouring an interest rate cut in December, you can actually see that we've got a slight sell-off in the US dollar, or should we say a slight correction. Now, for those of you who've seen me do this analysis before, you will notice that I marked this area up here as a key liquidity area. This 107.4 level was a really key liquidity area. Also down here at around 100. Basically, we've been trading in this range since December 2022. And you can see that we've formed that range really since July 23. There's the high of the range. We sort of ping-ponged in between it. Sell off at the beginning of the year or the first half of the year. And then you can see the market, that dollar really started to rally really in the from about September through to November. Grab the liquidity at the top side here, and then you can see that weekly candle last week was quite a decisive one. We'll see if that continues throughout this week. But what we're going to need to see is if we're going to continue to see that dollar fall back in towards sort of the middle of the range, which it wouldn't surprise me this year if that's what happened in December, as we sort of just got that rotation back down towards the sort of 105 area. The way that will come around is basically a weaker NFP report or weaker data on the whole in the US, and dovish speak from all the Federal Reserve members. I think I just pointed out to you we had it was Jolt's job openings today. We also got 2 FOMC members talking. I think was it yesterday? Waller spoke yesterday. Williams spoke yesterday as well. Basically, all the FOMC members, and this is the last time we're going to hear from them before the interest rate decision. We also had the Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaking. He comes and speaks tomorrow on Wednesday. So more dovish language from these Federal Reserve members, and we could probably likely see this dollar rotate back down towards 105, and that's sort of my base case, because I do think we're leaning towards a cut now. However, if the jobs data comes in really strong, it comes in, the job openings comes in strong today, i.e. there's lots of job openings, and then tomorrow we have potentially a ADP employment change, which may be stronger, all these PMIs, and if it points towards stronger US data, we could see a continuation in this upside momentum in the dollar index. So bear that one in mind. But go down onto the lower time frames. There's our lower high. Here's our high that was printed. And we've just basically taken out this low here. But I would say that in order for us to say we're turning bearish on the US dollar, I'd like to see a breakdown below this low. And what you can actually see is this low as liquidity wicked into, and then boom, we've got a nice run up higher. So at the moment, we're sort of in this consolidation period or holding pattern. But I think there's a chance that we could be seeing the US dollar just making a move back up towards 107 this week. But it's going to need that stronger data, stronger labour market data to sort of back that up. Thank you, guys. Cheers. Just let you know, if at any point there's any questions or any markets that you guys want me to take a look at, then let me know in the chat room now or whenever, and I will go through those with you. I might be able to fix the delay as well whilst we're here. Maybe something that looks like that. Or we just have to deal with it today and I'll sort it out for tomorrow. What about now? That might be better. Okay. So that's the Fed speak. That's also the US dollar view with the sort of ADP employment and the JOLTS job openings just around the corner as well. And obviously Friday's NFP, which I'm going to be covering live, by the way. Euro dollar as a result of that crypto gamble. So let's have a quick look at that. If we are going to get that, it's very difficult to be bullish on the euro at the moment because of what's going on in France with the that political instability, should we say. And you can see, and I marked this yesterday, until we get a break above this high, 1.06, you have to still think about trying to look for some selling opportunities. Now, what you have to remember is, and I'm noticing it, especially in the Forex market, is we're just starting to see the volatility and the volume thin out somewhat as we approach sort of the Christmas period and people have their time off and all that sort of stuff, and the markets become quite thin in nature, and that normally starts with the Forex market and then feeds into the other markets as well. So it might be a little bit of a painful trade. However, we are going to potentially be running into resistance area here at 1.05, and we could look to play that down. It's just, are we going to get enough of a directional move? If we get a strong NFP, really strong NFP, then yeah, we could see that euro dollar downside down towards 1.035. But if we start to see, a slight weakening in the JOLTS numbers or the ADP numbers, then we could see that euro dollar market at least come up and maybe even test this high. So yeah, I'm just starting to see the early indications of a market which is just starting to rotate. So bear that one in mind. Okay, just before I carry on, just wanted to point you in the direction. I know a few of you are in the chat now, very much like demo trading competition. So we've got one starting very, very soon. Demo start $2,000. You can win your share of $2,000. I'll show you the website in a second. But we do these quite a lot. Quite frequently, we have these trading competitions. So I recommend that you get involved because, they're good fun and they're completely free as well. All you got to do is head over to the Taurex website, go over to trade, over here on demo trading competition. And remember, if you're from the UK, you won't be able to get access to this. So if you can't see it on your website, it just means that in that jurisdiction we can't provide that service to you. That's basically what it means. If you scroll down, where's the new one? Click join the league. Wi-Fi seems to have picked up now. previously just finished one, and that finished on November the 29th, I think on Friday. So we had 1,400 people in that. Currently, we've got 732 people in our new demo trading competition, which is starting in 5 days. It's got all the rules there. Everything you need to know about it is there. It's really super easy. All you got to do is click register. You open up a demo account, and then that links to like the leaderboard and stuff, and then you start trading. Now, just remember that traders who don't open and close at least one trade each day, or traders who trade for less than 10 days, so basically a minimum of 10 days trading, will be disqualified. It basically just means that people can't just go, there's a mega lot trade on gold and then just holds it for the whole time. So hopefully that sort of filters that out. We want proper traders to win it. If you do manage to win the competition, $800 will be coming to you. I believe it gets paid into a Taurex account, but you can withdraw it. So you open up a live account and that'll get put into there. So it's a good little deposit bonus as well. Second place $500, third place $400, and you can register up until the 8th of December. Trading will commence on the 9th and it will last until the 22nd. And I will announce the winners on probably the stream after. Yeah, why not? We'll do that. Make sure you look at that one. And also, if you are interested as well, we have our new broker-backed prop solution. So if you are someone who's interested in prop trading, Taurex we have announced Atmos as our broker-backed, ready-to-trade prop solution. So you can, in any other way that you'd open any sort of prop challenge, you can buy a challenge of up to 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 100k, and you can see the upfront costs of that. Very, very competitive as well. For a 5k account, just a $59 upfront cost, which is pretty good. So if you want to check that out, head over to atmos.tradetaurex.com. I'll put that in the chat room. And crypto gambles, you can get the UK access to Taurex. It will just be on the FCA regulation, so you can still get access to the trading account and anything else that you need. It's just some of like the more like gamified stuff that's you can't have under an FCA regulation. So it's to protect you really. Okay. Right. Any other markets anyone wants me to cover today? I'm just going to have a quick look at quant now, because at Taurex you can trade cryptocurrencies, which is great. And I know that crypto has been on a bit of a mad run at the moment. Quant open interest hits 8-month high as quant targets this level. That's the article from A&B Crypto, which is an article that I read quite a bit. Now, if I go on the quant chart, you'll see exactly what I mean. Where is it? Not on indices. Crypto. If you look at crypto today, Bitcoin's down 1.5%, Ethereum's down 1.5%, XRP's down 1.7%. But look at quant. It's up 12%, 13% today. So that's the market you want to be getting involved in if you're looking to trade that today. I can show you the daily candle at the moment. It's quite impressive. It's been quite an impressive few days. We've now gone from $62 on Thursday the 14th of Friday the 15th of November, and we're now at pretty much 150. So it goes without saying, right now, if I look at from a technical analysis point of view, what I've got here is a potential bearish daily order block or supply zone. Same thing at this level, and yet we did have initially a good rejection yesterday. This is where sometimes you have to be careful, and just like a tip for you, or when you use technical analysis and you use sort of areas that get mitigated, or in other words be tested. Once they've been tested and they've reacted, often when it comes back again, it's often because it's going to be broken. Often. I'm not saying all the time. It's just something that I've noticed. So, for example, this supply zone or this order block here on quant, when that was tested, and we got that reaction there, and then we started the day lower, believe it or not. We were down at 126. When we saw the market explode higher back up towards this area, we should then realise that once an area has been mitigated, it's unlikely that it's going to, once it tests it again, it's probably because it's going to be broken. And so that's really what I'm looking for, is I'm looking for this area, which is pretty much where the 150 is. You see that rejection we had at 150 before. If we get a solid, and I mean a proper solid close above that level, that opens up the door for quant to have a broader move higher up towards, 170, 180, 190, maybe even 200 in the next few months or going into next year. So there's a lot of cryptocurrencies which are looking, quite appealing like that, and sort of these daily areas seem to be keep getting broken. Look at XRP, gone all the way up there, and also we've got Bitcoin, which is sort of finding now a period of consolidation. That's why as well, when you see these markets that are sort of overextended to the upside, I always say, to the people that, Jeanette and everyone there, I always say, don't buy out of FOMO, wait for a real technical reason that we can look to get involved here. And there is potentially one on quant. I mean, it's up now 14% on the day, which is pretty mad. Okay, WTI and gold. Let's have a look at that. Again, I've actually deliberately avoided oil for quite some time. The reason I've avoided oil is because you can see, really, since the beginning of September, it's barely moved. Not really a great deal that's gone on at all in this market. Doesn't mean we're not going to get some movement. Now, to me, it looks like it's being pressured. It looks like it's under pressure, doesn't it? If you zoom out on the daily time frame, this is a market which looks under pressure. However, at the same time, you can't argue with the fact that we've got quite clearly support coming in at this area. So the bull side would say, well, this is good support. Where is our sort of swing low? Where would we be uncomfortable, or where would we turn sort of definitely bearish on oil? Well, for me, it's basically at this low, right? So if I mark that low, that's the low for me, where if you was going to go long, I would say to myself, well, any time the market, I think now trades below 65, I think we're turning bearish. But I actually think there's potentially a good trade coming up where, if you look at the broader range, there's probably a bit of a wick out there. It's probably not the best example, Connor. We could see a move at least up to 72. And if we get a break above 72 or 73, I think that opens the door for a move to this fair value gap. You see that fair value gap in there? Something that looks a bit like that. I mean, it's not the best risk-reward ratio in the world. It's not very good at all, actually. 1.5 is probably not a trade that I'd execute, but it does look to me like oil is maybe starting to form a base down near these levels, and therefore we could try and capitalise on that and try and get that sort of late year or year-end rally up to sort of the mid-75s. But I'm not massively confident in that. Gold is the same for me. Gold has been the same for me now for quite some time. I have to say, when I look at the technicals, sorry if it's a little bit of a mess. Let me get rid of this indicator. That should smoothen things up a little bit. I've still classed this as our bearish leg. So from the 30th of October, this high down towards where this imbalance is on the 14th of November, that's our bearish leg down, right? We've had a correction, albeit quite an aggressive one, up to the 61.8, and then a clear rejection, which basically means that should gold, for me, come and trade above 2721 or 2720, then I'd say, okay, probably back to being bullish on gold. However, I'm really looking out to see if this area, which is here, can be used as a resistance area for gold. Now, again, the volume or the volatility has just come out of the markets over the last couple of weeks, because I think everyone is sort of waiting for the two big events now that are coming out, NFP and the Fed interest rate decision. So everyone's waiting for that, and as a result, what you're seeing is a bit of hesitancy to get involved, and you can see that in the price action because this is a little bit slow in terms of its market movement. But I'm expecting a pickup in volatility no matter what towards the end of this week, and I'm hoping that we see gold maybe come out and grab out this liquidity on these equal highs into our resistance area at 2678 or 2680. Probably would want to cover the 61.8%, and you can see that that's a risk reward trade, which is sort of now nearly 4 to 1, or even if we just targeted this low here, 4.2 to 1. That's something I can get on board with. And I think that pretty much sums it up. I mean, I can talk about the stock market if you like. It pretty much done exactly what I said yesterday it would do. And that is make that move back up towards these all-time highs. Called this reaction here from the 61.8 at 20,400 really well. So I'm really happy with that. Again, S&P 500, look, you can just see that grind. I'm going to show you guys how to set up the trend rider strategy as well, because that's a pretty good one. You can see I'm actually in this trend rider trade as well. You can see how that's working out quite nicely, respecting that moving average. But I'll show you how to set that up in another stream. And yeah, the US30 again. You can see the volume in the candles, tailing off a little bit. So yeah, it's quite difficult to trade. But again, look at that reaction from the fair value gap here. That was at the beginning of last week. Hasn't gone up much since then, but there has been some movement, and it typically is that sort of December trade where you see thinner markets, so you see these random pockets of volatility, but then you just see that sort of grind higher in the stock market as well. That's typically what happens. Okay, crypto gambles. I'll forward that message on, and I'll get back to you on that, on what the sort of situation is there. Okay, good stuff. That pretty much sums it up for today. So keeping an eye on that Fed speak later, and I'll be back on tomorrow to update you any more on that. It's a little bit of a slower day in terms of news events. We have got the JOLTS job openings coming out as well in not too long. So we'll take a look at that. And then tomorrow we have a bit more of a busy day with services PMI, ADP employment change, and the Fed chair Jerome Powell speaking, I think, for the final time before the interest rate decision. Then we have a pause day on Thursday, and then Friday's the big one. And I'll be covering that live exactly the same time. I'll be on exactly the same time doing a breakdown of NFP, and then we'll be covering that event live for you. Okay? Hopefully this week as well, we're going to be looking at potentially having some sort of like Discord channel or something, and then we'll be able to sort of chat in the day about some of the different market moves and stuff like that. So as soon as I know anything more on that, I will update you. Until then, trade well, trade safe, and I'll see you all very shortly. Thank you.